is my husband, Larry Adebesson, and we want to welcome you here today. What we're going to do today is to share with you some of the conversations that he and I have had and some of the questions that I've asked and some of the answers that he's given. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now, Larry.
Yes.
Why do people get the results that they get in life?
Good question. Why do people get the results they get in life? You know, I could really answer that question several ways. I could give you the very, very short and brief answer, which will just be a couple of words. Or I could give you the elaborate and extended one, which could take us a long time to finish. So, which would you want?
Well, let's do something maybe middle of the road.
Middle of the road. Good. Well, why do we get the results we get in life? I guess the best way I can start on that is by sharing with you a quotation from one of my favorite authors. And that's a quotation by Henry David Thoreau. And the quotation goes like this. You've probably heard it before. It goes like this. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life he or she has imagined, he or she will meet with success unexpected in common hours. And you know what? That's really, in a nutshell, what this whole idea of why some people get certain results and some people do not, that's really what it boils down to. Let's kind of break down that quotation. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams. So in other words, that statement presupposes that we are advancing in the direction of our dreams.
Right.
But what we also need to realize is this. Whether we have a deliberate goal or dream that we've set or not, we're still advancing. And it is what we're advancing towards that ultimately determines the results we get in life. Now, to better illustrate, I'd like to share a story with you, Denise, and with our listeners that's in our book, Success, It's Your Birthright. This story, once I share it with you, will give you, in a nutshell, what it takes to get the results we get and why we get the results we get. It's a very interesting story. And by the way, for those of you listening, if you have not downloaded your free copy of Success, It's Your Birthright, I suggest you do that. It's available for you, available to you at absolutely no cost. Just go to successbr.com. That's successbr.com. www. Okay, so let me share this story with you. The story can be found on page 86, and it's called The Story of the Great Stone Face by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And I'm not going to read the story to you, I'm just going to give you the gist of the story. The story goes something like this, that in this particular city, there was an engraving on the side of the mountain. And that engraving was called the Great Stone Face. And the legend goes something like this. By the way, this Great Stone Face was the embodiment of love, humility, courage, success, all of the qualities you and I, Denise, crave for, and everybody else. And the story goes something like this, that one day, the Great Stone Face was going to appear in person in that small city. Well, the story further goes on to tell us that in that same city, there lived a young boy who was inspired by the ideals embodied by the Great Stone Face. And this little lad spent every extra time he had gazing upon this image on the mountainside. Every opportunity he had, he would go there to the mountainside, just gaze upon it, and he was inculcating within himself all of these qualities that made up the Great Stone Face. And as time passed by, whenever business people, executives, politicians, entertainers, just men of renown. Whenever they came to town, this young man will stare at them, will take every opportunity to look at them, to take a close look at them, just to see if one of these dignitaries was the great stone face. And time passed, and one day, on one particular occasion, there was a meeting taking place in the town hall. And this young lad that had grown up was actually present at this particular meeting. And one of the people, actually several people at the town hall meeting, approached this young lad and indicated to him, identified him as the great stone face. Now, of course, this young guy was surprised at this. But here is the moral of the story. This is the point I'm trying to illustrate. You see, this young lad became himself in flesh the great stone face because he spent so much time meditating, pondering upon the qualities embodied by the great stone face. And you know what? That's how you and I get the results we get in life. There is a quotation that goes something like this: where attention goes, energy flows. This young guy paid so much attention to the great stone face, and so much energy flowed in that direction. He meditated on the qualities. He contemplated on it. There's also another French proverb that goes something like this: be careful what you set your heart upon, because you will surely get it. And in a nutshell, Denise, to answer your question, we get what we get in life because of our focus and because of our attention. And even James Allen, in his best-selling book, actually the one that he's most famous for, As a Man Thinketh, under the chapter on the visions and ideals, he ended the chapter by saying something like this: the vision that you glorify in your heart, let me back it up. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by. This you will become. So, to round up this question, Denise, why do we get what we get in life? We get what we get in life because of what we focus on and what we pay attention to. I hope that helps you.
Yeah, that helps a lot. That helps a lot. Now, Larry, my next question to you is, if we get everything we want in life by what we focus on and what we pay attention to, then how can we better direct our focus and attention to basically set our life up to really, really be the success or the persons that we desire to be?
Excellent question. Well, I'm glad you asked. But here's what I'm going to do. To answer that question, why don't we take a break for a few minutes? And when we get back, I will give you a step-by-step approach that you can start using immediately to better control your focus and attention so that they are channeled in the direction of your dreams, so that your attention will unleash the necessary energy to get you where you want to go. See you soon.